Good afternoon. Welcome to all of our friends, constituents, and colleagues to the beautiful campus of Clark Atlanta University, to the AUC Center. We have with us today representatives of leadership from the AUC Center, and we are delighted and thrilled to have with us President Mary Schmidt Campbell of Spelman College, President David Thomas of Morehouse College. We have with us a representative from Morehouse School of Medicine. We have with us Dr. Kevin James from Morris Brown College and President Williams from the ITC. We also have with us these delightful students who are behind us. We want to thank you all for being with us this afternoon. We are pleased to have with us two congressmen today, Congressman Hank Johnson and Congresswoman Nikema Williams, as well as United States Senator Jon Ossoff. I present to you now for a presentation of Senator Ossoff, Congressman Hank, Congresswoman Nikema Williams first. Thank you so much.
You. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Congresswoman Nikema Williams, and welcome to Georgia's 5th Congressional District. As a proud HBCU graduate of Talladega College, it is my honor to welcome Senator Ossoff right here to the Atlanta University Center to showcase the students here at the AUC and to talk about just how important HBCUs are to not only our economy in Georgia, but our nation as a whole. When we look at our Vice President and as a graduate of Howard University and looking at the members of the United States Congress, especially those gathered here today with Congressman Johnson, an alum of Clark Atlanta University, don't let anyone tell you that HBCUs do not prepare you for the real world. So I am a proud member of the HBCU caucus, and we're making sure that HBCUs get the support and funding that they need from the federal government. And at this time, I'm going to bring up my colleague who has been leading this work in the United States Congress, Congressman Hank Johnson.
Thank you, Congresswoman Williams. You have come to Congress and made an indelible mark, etched your positions, and you do an excellent job representing the citizens of the 5th District, which is where we are right now, which is where this hallowed ground sits within the 5th District, formerly represented by John Lewis. And so you've got big shoes to fill, but so far you're filling them pretty good. You know, it was about this time of year in 1976, right here on this ground, that I received my Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science from Clark College. And I left here and went on to Texas Southern University, the Thurgood Marshall School of Law, another HBCU, and attained my Juris Doctorate degree and began practicing law. And at some point, the rest became history. I'm now a United States Congressman. And during that journey, I was proud to get a phone call out of the blue from a gentleman one day wanting to come work on my campaign. He was 19 years old at the time, and I said, come on. And he came on, and he ended up doing such a bang-up job that when I won that election, he went to Washington, D.C. with me. And while he was in Washington, D.C., he was also attending Georgetown University, and where he attained his degree. And once he attained that degree, he, after 5 years working in my office, he left to pursue further education in London at the London School of Economics, where he attained his master's degree, and then he came back and went into private business in the private sector, and then he decided that he wanted to run for public office, and so he ran for the House of Representatives. He was not successful, but he did not let that stop him. Time was on his side, young people. And by the way, I might say at this point that education is the ticket for success in the 21st century, and you all are on your way. And the fact that you're young doesn't mean you can't do what you want to do. Because at this point, the man that I'm getting ready to introduce to you has far outseated probably his own expectations, because once he lost that race, he used it as a stepping stone. A setback was a setup for the next event, which was to run for something big, to do something big. And he ran for the United States Senate and he won. And ladies and gentlemen, having not even been there for 4 months, he was the impetus for saving a $1.8 billion project that was slated to disappear from Georgia had he not intervened and brought the parties together, made sure they worked out a deal. And that's how we have that plant that is producing electric batteries that's going to take Georgia's economy firmly into the 21st century with green energy, making Georgia a center of commerce once again. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of introducing to you my friend and now my colleague, Senator Jon Ossoff.
Thank you so much, Congressman Johnson, for your mentorship, your leadership, your service. It's an honor to call you a colleague, and I'm proud of the great work we're already doing together and looking forward to continuing it. Congresswoman Williams, thank you so much for your extraordinary service to Georgia's 5th Congressional District, to the city of Atlanta, to the state of Georgia, to the United States. It's an honor to work with you and great to be here with you today. Will you all please join me in giving a round of applause for the students who are here. Thank you all so much for the hospitality. I'm so grateful for the hospitality. Dr. French, thank you so much for bringing us together. It's great to be here at Clark Atlanta University. It's always a pleasure to be here at the Atlanta University Center. I want to commend Dr. French and all of the assembled institutional leaders here representing so many institutions of higher education across Georgia for your leadership during these difficult times, for all that you've done to persist, to support your students during this pandemic. Thank you so much for your leadership. Deeply appreciated. I am here bearing good news. As we turn the corner in the fight against COVID-19 and set our sights on what comes next, there is so much exciting work being done at HBCUs here in Georgia and nationwide. And today I had the opportunity to learn more about the upcoming Propel Center, which with support from Apple, the Southern Company, and Microsoft, will place a transformative investment in STEM education, in technology, in cybersecurity, right here on campus to help this institution continue to lead the way. Thank you to those private sector partners for your investment in the future, for your investment in young people, for your investment in this institution. And I want everyone to know that your representatives in the United States Congress equally are partners in investing in these institutions. And the major announcement that I'm so pleased to be able to make today is that under the American Rescue Plan, which President Biden signed into law just in the last few weeks, thanks to the hard work of Georgia's delegations to the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House, today I can announce that Clark Atlanta University will receive $16.4 million in direct federal support. Morehouse College will receive $7.8 million in direct federal support. Spelman will receive $7.4 million in direct federal aid to help you reinvest and recover during and after this pandemic. And it has been our pleasure to secure those resources. And I look forward to working with you, Madam President, and all of the assembled leaders here today to sustain that support, because HBCUs are gems in our nation's system of higher education. HBCUs provide a vital service not just to the black community here in Georgia and across the country, but to the entire nation and to the entire world. And please count on me as a friend and an ally and a staunch advocate for Georgia's HBCUs and HBCUs nationwide. Thank you all so much for being here. I would be happy to take questions. You can direct a question to me or to the United States representatives, and Jake Best on my team will call on members of the press.
Specifically, how will this investment be spent at these universities? How will they delegate these funds?
So let me first, just in case not all the cameras got it, once again share this major announcement of federal financial support for these institutions. $16.4 million for Clark Atlanta University, $7.8 million for Morehouse College, $7.4 million for Spelman, and nearly $400,000 for Morehouse School of Medicine. The leadership of these institutions will have significant discretion and flexibility with respect to the investments that they want to make in facilities, operations, maintenance, technology, because the leaders of these institutions know best what they need. We did ensure in the American Rescue Plan Act, however, that a full half of this federal support must go to direct assistance for students. That's true of the funding for HBCUs as well as all of the higher education funding in the American Rescue Plan. So these numbers that I've read out, $16.4 million for Clark Atlanta University, $7.8 million for Morehouse College, $7.4 million for Spelman. To the students here, half of those resources are coming to help you directly as we continue to recover from this pandemic.
The overall state of student debt forgiveness, where are we on that? What's the outlook? Is the president amenable?
There is a student debt crisis in this country. Higher education should expand our horizons and our opportunity and not saddle us with decades of debt. My personal conviction is that no American should have to take on a penny of debt to get a 2 or 4 year degree from any HBCU, be it public or private, or from any public college or university in the United States. We need to expand the Pell Grant program to make that possible. I have joined the call of many of my colleagues in the House and Senate urging President Biden to use authority that he already has to offer substantial student loan debt relief to those who are carrying a heavy debt burden and having difficulty paying. And we must expand the Pell Grant program so that no one attending an HBCU, again, be it public or private, and no one attending a public college or university nationwide has to take on debt to get that degree. We expect these funds to be disbursed in a matter of weeks. My office is coordinating between the Department of Education and the White House and the leaders of these institutions to determine precise dates, and my team can give you more details on that. Chris? Well, I want to again thank our private sector partners for their investments in STEM education. We had a great conversation today about how these facilities can help train the next generation of STEM workers for both private and public sector. Cybersecurity is so vital and part of the investments in infrastructure we need to make. I'm going to invite Mr. Womack from the Southern Company, as well as the other representatives of our private sector partners to offer you more information.
My name is Chris Womack, president of Georgia Power Company. Let me say, on behalf of Southern Company, we view the students and the services that our historically black colleges and universities offer as a vital resource for meeting the labor needs and workforce needs of our companies in the future. As the economy continues to evolve and become more technology demanding, we saw the opportunity and we see the opportunity for this collaboration where we put the Propel Center on campus to facilitate greater study, greater curriculum around innovation, data analytics, coding, just a lot more technology advancing requirements and skills that would be needed going forward. And the Center has talked a lot about things around in the area of intelligence and cybersecurity. So this facility, which we're partnering with Apple, will be housed here. And we look forward over the next couple of years to advancing the construction, but even on the interim basis, using it as a virtual platform to connect all historically black colleges and universities to take advantage of this virtual collaboration to advance these kind of studies and skills going forward. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that we all focus on today is the competitive nature of work and the competitive nature of identifying employees. At the same time, we know that we need a workforce that is more skilled, more technology savvy, have more understanding of what it will take to be innovative. And like I said, we talk about coding, data analytics, cyber, and a lot of security platforms. And so, yeah, this will increase the workforce opportunities for the students, but also give us a larger network of students to recruit from. So, yeah, I mean, it's a win-win for everybody.
First of all, I just want to commend what Georgia Pacific and the Southern Company is doing with the Propel Center, and commend what Apple is doing on the whole leadership development and when it comes to science, technology, and engineering and math. And, you know, there's no question when you think about the jobs of the future, every job has some tech component to it. We at Microsoft are pleased that we've been here in the city of Atlanta since 2007. We're planning to expand, and there will be some good growth here in Atlanta. And why Atlanta on this growth? It's because of these hallowed grounds that we are here today. As a graduate of Morehouse College and have been on the AU Center before, been over to Spelman before, been to Morris Brown as well. There's just so much talent here, and more specifically, so much talent that's African American. And as we look to take on, and it's so important on the diversity aspect, there's no better place in the country with so many talented students than the AU Center. And so we're quite excited about strengthening our partnership with the AU Centers and the pipeline that it provides, as well as just what Georgia's got it going on. Atlanta has it going on. It has great institutions of higher education. It's got a good quality of life. It's a place where people want to be and want to come. And so when you look at it, and I think you're going to see even more tech companies come to Atlanta, it has all the ingredients and possesses all the things that you're looking for as you're looking to have a strong pipeline. So with the Propel, what Microsoft is doing, there's some great synergies and some great opportunities. And we're quite excited to strengthening our partnership and growing in this wonderful place that's near and dear and special to me, as well as to Microsoft. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fred, and thank you, President Womack, and bringing together partners in the private sector. You got the president of Georgia Power, representatives of Microsoft and Apple, leaders of these educational institutions, and the political leadership here. We are working together to invest in this community and to expand opportunity for young people in the state. Jake, do we have other questions? Can you speak up a little bit for me, please? The educational leadership? Anyone want to talk about?
Hello, I'm Mary Schmidt-Campbell, and I'm the president of Spelman College. We have an infrastructure that dates over 150 years on our collective campuses. And we manage to have spectacular academic outcomes, despite the fact that historically our infrastructure has been has received underinvestment. So to the extent that the president's proposed infrastructure bill would permit historically black colleges and universities to not only restore their infrastructure, but begin to build the kind of facilities that are going to be needed in terms of the 21st century with our fluency in data science and cybersecurity and quantum computing and all the other areas that would make us, that would continue to make us exceedingly competitive. It's going to be very important that parts of that infrastructure bill come to historically black colleges and universities. And I say that because according to the National Science Foundation, our colleges and universities collectively graduate more black students who go on to complete their PhDs in STEM fields than any other college or university in the country. So imagine what we could do for this country if we had the kind of investment in our infrastructure that we required. Thank you.
I would just add to President Smith Campbell's comments that for our colleges, infrastructure is not just the buildings that you can see, but it's also in the walls. And even in this last year of responding to COVID, we've really seen the ways in which if we are going to be competitive in the 21st century, we need to invest in our technology infrastructure to be able to do the things and deliver the kinds of educational experiences that are necessary to really prepare our students to go forward. So I am hopeful that with Senator Ossoff and his colleagues' leadership in the Senate, this infrastructure bill will explicitly speak to the needs of historically black colleges, because the other point that I would call your attention to, if you look at the schools that, the colleges that schools like Morehouse and Clark and Spelman compete with, many of them have billion-dollar-plus endowments, and that allows them to invest in their infrastructures in ways that we cannot, and that's a direct product of the wealth gap that has been created over the centuries in the differences that are built in structurally into the racial systems of inequality in our country. So, so this infrastructure bill, just like the $1.9 trillion bill that was just announced that we'll be getting funds from, is critical to putting us at the competitive edge that I think our histories of student outcomes merit.
And let me just briefly add that in addition to the news of the day, the major announcement of this funding for these institutions, I want to add that what you just heard, this is precisely why Congressman Johnson and Congresswoman Williams and I ensured that this support is in the form of grants and not loans. Okay, Jake, one more question? Hey.
Just wondering if there's any funding for Morris Brown in the legislation.
So we are working with President James to fully support his efforts to secure full accreditation for Morris Brown. I want to commend President James for his leadership, for the pace that you're pushing to get that institution fully accredited. And I'd like to offer you the opportunity to give an update on your efforts.
Sure. Greetings, my name is Kevin James, the president of Morris Brown College, and we're so excited that just on 2 weeks ago, Morris Brown College announced that we had received accreditation candidacy, which is a first in 20 years for Morris Brown College. Yes, thank you very much. We are now, right now, at this very moment, applying to receive federal financial aid, and so Morris Brown College just made history, and we appreciate everyone's continued support as we work to restore dear old Morris Brown College through what we call the hard reset. Again, we appreciate Senator Ossoff for all of your support, and we appreciate all of the AU Center presidents, all of the community, and other leaders who are supporting Morris Brown College. You all please continue to watch Morris Brown College as we have several major announcements that are forthcoming. We just announced recently that we will be building a $30 million hotel at Morris Brown College in partnership with CGI Merchant Group and Hilton Hotel. Additionally, this week we made a huge announcement that we are partnering with Chick-fil-A. They just donated $1.5 million to support Morris Brown College in our hospitality program as we restore our institution. So continue to watch Morris Brown as we restore our institution through a lot of hard work, and continue to please support Morris Brown. Please visit our website, morrisbrown.edu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President James. And in addition to your question, it's President James' leadership towards securing that accreditation with the full support of the congressional delegation that will pave the way for that federal support. All right? Well, we have to work to support his efforts to secure the accreditation that paves the way for those federal funding streams. And that's why we are united, not just the congressional delegation, but all the leadership here at the AU Center, to support President James' efforts to secure that accreditation timely. All right? Okay, thank you so much, everybody.